What's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the Big Cat Chat podcast. We finally got back last week. We're back again, trying to keep this thing weekly. And yeah, we're back. How you doing, Sean?
Doing I eat, bro. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. We got tweets about needing to get you a new camera.
Whatever. If they
We
buy it,
start
sure.
Should we start a GoFundMe?
If they want to buy it, go ahead.
All right, guys. Send Sean the money. Buy him a new camera. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start with some general NFL news. And first up is Sean Payton is going to the Broncos. He got traded. When was the last time a coach was traded?
Um, John Gruden, I think.
Yeah, I think that. And didn't he won a Super Bowl with
Yeah,
the Bucks? I believe is who he was
yeah. He
traded to.
went from the Raiders to the Bucks, won a Super Bowl
In
against his
01.
old team, the Raiders.
Yeah, it was 01. That was like the last time the Buccaneers were good until just
Yeah, I'm pretty
recently.
sure he was a trade.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
sure.
so. But yeah, the Saints are going to receive a 2023 first round pick and a 2024 second round pick, and the Broncos will receive Sean Payton and a future third round pick. Who do you think wins, or do you think it's fair?
I don't know. It's a lot to give up for a coach.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Sean Payton was their third option too,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
because they
Probably
wanted
what?
D'Amico.
Well,
They
he was
wanted,
probably only the third option because they didn't want to give up stuff. Though.
yeah, they wanted D'Amico Ryan's, who picked Houston, which is a really good hire finally for them, and they also wanted John Harbaugh, who said, "I'm sticking with Michigan."
You mean Jim
Good
Harbaugh?
for you, Jim. I live with Ravens fans. I hear John a lot,
Yeah.
but
I
hopefully it
don't
works
know.
out for them. I've seen some interviews recently about him. Apparently, who was it? Who's the Terry? Terry Bradshaw on TV. Apparently, Terry Bradshaw said he didn't initially want to go to the Broncos because he didn't want to work with Russell. But it's Terry Bradshaw. Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, he's crazy as hell.
But nonetheless, hopefully it works out for Broncos fans because Broncos country needs to ride.
Broncos country. Let's die.
Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't work out, what are they going to do? They already nearly burned their future on Russell, and any future they had left, they just gave for Sean Payton.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all or nothing. I mean, they have the talent. It's just, can Russell Wilson play good, and can you have a competent coach? Anyways, we'll see. Like I said, the Texans hired D'Amico Ryans. Will he survive more than a year?
Yeah, who knows with that racist owner
It's funny though.
who's
For a
hired three
racist,
black head coaches in a row.
it's a funny thing. He's supposedly racist, but then he hires a black coach, but then he's also racist because he fires them after 1 year, but then he still goes and hires another black coach. I'm like,
He's got to keep everybody
what?
guessing.
I
Got to
mean,
switch up on him.
at least this time it's a good hire because I thought Lovey Smith was bad because Lovey Smith was a failed coach already. And then before that, they hired uh I forget what his name was, but
David
he
Culley.
David Culley, but I didn't think that was a good hire because he was a bad wide receivers coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they finally hired a good coach. I will say it's a defensive coach, and the recent history in the NFL says defensive coaches don't get it as easily as offensive coaches. But
Jalen Petrie stock is up.
it is. Derek Stingley stock is unfortunately up as well, but it's Derek Stingley. So
Yeah,
who else do they have? I
I hope he
mean,
fa- I hope he fails just because he went to the
I hope
Texans.
so too. I hope they
It
take
sucks.
CJ Stroud and he's a bum.
I'm talking about the coach.
I know.
Oh, I
I,
thought you thought I was thinking.
if I hope he doesn't get Bryce Young because Bryce, they all have fail potential. Nobody's guaranteed anything, but I trust Bryce to be good regardless more than I do Stroud. So I hope they take Stroud or something.
I don't really like any of them.
Fair enough.
They don't scare
I
me.
think that,
I have Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, I'm not really scared. It's just Houston. Houston will probably get us once a year like they always do, but
Maybe.
hopefully not. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence dropped that whole player tribune letter to the fans.
Yeah, it was great. That was elite stuff.
I know. Just off the top of my head, he mentioned how it felt good being down 27-0 and seeing nobody leaving, which I will say, when I was there myself, it felt like more people were leaving than people really left. Like you said, it was probably just people walking around the concourse and stuff. Because at the end of the game, it was going crazy. It was as if nobody had left. So I was like, fair enough. And then he mentioned how last year he was thinking, how are we going to get anybody to want to stay here? Which that's true. Common Jaguars free agency issues. And now everybody wants to be here. Everybody wants to resign. People want to come to town. It's just good.
Yep. He
I mean,
also
if
talked about how he heard the bus talk.
oh yeah, they really this man came into the league with no chip on his shoulder. Admittedly, no chip on his shoulder. Just like I'm, I know who I am, pretty good. And now you guys gave him a chip on his shoulder. Like what the hell?
I'm here for it.
They done fucked up. They done fucked up is all I can say.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to read the whole speech, he tweeted it on Twitter, Players Tribune, all that stuff. It's a good read. I recommend reading it if you're a Jags fan because it will make you happy. It will make you feel good about the future of this team, and it will make me more confident in my future Jaguars Super Bowl prediction.
Next year.
Yes, sir. I just love how the Trevor went from barely tweeting, and now I feel like he tweets quite frequently.
Yeah.
He's quite active.
It's off season, bro.
Kind of happened with Josh Allen too. Jaguars Josh Allen.
I think it's because it's
He
off season.
yeah, when we initially drafted him, he was pretty quiet. Like obviously he'd do some media stuff, but now I feel like he frequently tweets out just out of nowhere, trying to get Jags fans happy. So
Yeah.
love those guys. Speaking of, I am wearing 41. He better not get traded, bro. Don't I see what you're doing with your eyes? Don't even go there. I never wavered. And he started balling out at the end of the year.
Yeah, give me that all season long, and we'll be out.
Something we've talked about this, but
I
something
know.
he must have been hurt.
I know, but he's had lulls before in his career too, though. So we don't know
It's
the,
weird because
the, the real truth.
he started out the year looking his best ever. Then he disappeared and everybody wanted him traded. And then at the end of the year, he's back to producing a sack. It was almost a sack a game, a bunch of pressures and all that. So
He's
if we can get
probably
it all
he's
year,
probably mad though because the rumor was the Chiefs, and if he traded him to the Chiefs, he'd be playing in the Super Bowl.
oh my,
He's like, damn, missed opportunity.
nah, bro, he's tweeting. I think I believe he tweeted, Trevor Lawrence gives him goosebumps. Kind of sus, bro.
He just be talking, bro. No, I'm just
All
kidding,
right,
but yeah,
whatever.
I'm glad he's still here for now.
Yeah, some other coaching stuff. Brian Flores is becoming the Minnesota defensive coordinator, which that could actually be pretty good because if Minnesota had a competent defense, they probably could have gone pretty far.
Yep.
They got Lewis. I saw someone tweet that Brian Flores is going to turn Lewis Sign into a missile, and I'm like, probably. I was a big fan of his during the draft, and then he tore his ACL on special teams.
Because that's where he should play.
I know. Love making your first round rookies play special teams.
Hey man, they got to earn their stripes.
Can't earn their stripes if they're tearing their ACLs though.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Vic Fangio, another big defensive coordinator hire, is going to Miami, so I think that's also a big the AFC
Improvement.
East is how are the Jets going to get out? I mean, I feel like the Jets are third place in my mind right now, and New
Third
England is
place.
probably last.
I'd flip
Like,
those two probably.
it's New England, so that's why I think
I mean,
it's
they did
fair to
finally
have them third.
hire an offensive coordinator instead of a defensive
You're
coordinator
right, they
coaching
did.
coaching the offense.
But beating the Bills in Miami just seems like a tough task for those two other teams.
Yeah, the Jets are kind of screwed though because
Zach
they have
Wilson is
they have no
dust.
idea who the quarterback is going to be. Like at least the Jets, I mean the Patriots. I mean Mac Jones isn't great, but like he could be average at least.
Yeah, he's like a Jimmy G type guy to me.
Yeah, like I don't even know if he's that good, but
Yeah,
but
I said
but
type guy.
at best he could be that probably. But like Zach Wilson and Mike White and Flacco, who knows what he's doing? I mean, and those are all substandard quarterback play.
Yeah, it's bad. They have a solid receiving core, a solid to good receiving core. They have a really good defense, but they
When they
have
get
just an
Derek Carr,
abysmal
bro,
quarterback.
Derek
Derek
Carr's
Carr
coming to
sucks,
town.
bro.
It's better than all three of those guys put together, though.
Probably, yeah, but
I
I
think
don't think he's
adding Derek Carr though would probably make them better than the Patriots.
probably better than the Patriots, but it's still a lot of
At least he
money
can.
to
At least he
only
can.
be third place.
At least he can probably throw it downfield.
I'm just thinking, I'm getting flashbacks to that Thursday night game.
Yeah,
Who
it
they
was
put
terrible.
in?
Chris
Tatted
Streveler.
Tebow?
Chris Streveler.
Chris Streveler. Oh my lord. Chris Streveler only moved the ball because he ran. Literally, he was just a running back. Basically, it's like they were running Wildcat with a quarterback.
Yeah,
I
it
remember
was.
one
It
of
was
those.
basically the Ford offense with Tebow, bro.
Zach Wilson's probably both of our biggest misses, biggest miss.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be good.
I did too. We both had him as QB2,
He
and
just made
he
nutty
is.
throws in college, and like we don't even see a glimpse of that in the pros.
Yeah, and he
I
makes
don't
a
know if
lot of
it.
guys miss, but and then
I
when he
don't know if
makes
it's
the guys
his
miss,
if
he
it's his
does nothing with
confidence
it.
or what. Is
Yeah,
it just shot? Does he need to go somewhere else? Was the New York media too much for him?
there were some rumors pre-draft. I never bought into them, but kind of seeing how he responded to all the criticism, it kind of
Well,
makes
yeah,
me
because he
actually
was
believe.
like a silver
Or
spoon
Rich,
in your mouth born kid. Like
exactly.
never had, probably any sort of adversity to face.
I had faith he could still be something until he went out and said he did not let his defense down. That was the moment where I was just like, yeah, it's over,
Yeah,
bro.
whoever like coached him up on PR was ass.
His he didn't even think about it until his dad texted him later. Like
Yeah, he
he
needs to go
feels
play.
bad when you
He needs to go play somewhere like Indianapolis, where the
yeah.
where the media is probably not as harsh.
Yeah, it's just bad when you have to have your dad text you to tell you fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
But interesting to see what happens there. I got a new roommate coming in next year who is a Miami fan, so gonna have a Miami fan, a Baltimore fan, and a Jaguars fan all under the same roof.
In Florida.
Yep. The Baltimore fans just out of place.
Yeah,
Anyways, last thing NFL wise is Tom Brady retired again.
for good.
Yeah, I
His
think he's
words.
staying. I I know there's a chance he could come back, but I don't feel like Tom Brady's gonna do that twice because then nobody's ever gonna trust him again.
No, that video was pretty convincing.
And then the the person who went out there and bottled up the sand at his retirement spot.
Did you see that it was last I looked at it a couple days ago? It was selling for 100K.
I don't think that it's actually gonna sell for that because I did
No,
see
the
some
bids.
random. I know. I can't you put in a bid and then like just with like a fake account and not pay it, like just raise the bid, make the bid look high,
I
but
don't
it
know.
never
I
actually
don't
sell.
know nothing about that. I just know it was being
The
bid
bid
on.
was up to like 100K, but I don't know if it'll actually sell for that.
Imagine
They
being
need
the
to
guy
get
just lurking in the bushes, waiting for him to move.
they need to get some guy. You know those people who are really good at that GeoGuessr game?
Hmm.
They need to get one of them to get where that location is and just leak the location so everybody just goes out there and grabs their own
Right.
sand. You wait for that kind of purchase, you'd have to have like when somebody autographs something and they give you the certification that says this was autographed and there's a little picture with it. That guy needed to be lurking in the bushes taking a picture of Tom recording
Yeah,
his video as like
yeah, for real.
certification.
That'd have been nice.
But yeah, it's Kyle Trask season. Let's go.
See,
I swear, if they trade for like Derek Carr or some like mid quarterback just to play over Kyle Trask, I will literally drive to Tampa and threaten Todd Bowles.
when Cam Newton makes his comeback,
Now, Kyle Trask is beating out Cam Newton in the year of 2023, bro.
is he though?
Yes,
The guy,
yes.
the guy who's a slow learner.
Oh my lord. He had Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich stinks, bro.
I was supposed to be the head coach of the Jags, bud.
Do I care? I never wanted him as the head coach of the Jags.
I didn't say you did. Don't put words in my mouth.
The Buccaneers need to hire Todd Monken, offensive coordinator from Georgia, for multiple reasons. One, because he's good, and two, because he's good and I want him away from Georgia.
Hope he's there for the long haul.
He's switched multiple times. He used to be with the Buccaneers
Let's talk about
before.
Georgia for a second.
Oh no.
Let's talk about Stetson Bennett, maybe.
Okay, no, we're not doing this. Okay, you know what? Stetson Bennett in the game of Madden 23 broke me the other day, and I don't want to talk about it, quite honestly.
Long story short, we imported a draft class from Bengal, YouTube's Bengal, and Stetson Bennett was a quarterback. Well, I made him a slot receiver. Mind you, he's like a 60 overall, and I cooked Josiah for like 166 yards with
what
Stetson
what
Bennett.
made me mad wasn't just that Stetson Bennett had that many yards. It was the fact that so I blocked he scored a touchdown and I blocked his extra point to make him only up by 6 with about 4 minutes left in the game. I drive down the field all the way down and there's about a minute left on the clock and I score a touchdown, which it's Madden, a
I got
minute
the
on the
ball.
clock.
I got the ball with 38 seconds in timeout.
Yeah, he only got the ball with 38 seconds in a timeout. And And this dude runs back to back fades with Stetson Bennett. First time I called zone coverage because I like to run zone coverage in that situation because I don't want that man coverage to have somebody get toasted up deep. Well, wide open Stetson Bennett fade route. I immediately switched to a man coverage defense because I'm like, okay, I'm not letting Stetson Bennett sneak between his zone. Dude runs the exact same route
Exact same
against
play.
a different coverage and is wide open again. And keep in mind, Stetson Bennett's like 85 speed, 30. Or I'm calling him 30 years old, but
He's
he's not
five
30
foot
years old.
10, 187 pounds.
And he's cooking a 6'4", 200-pound, 91 speed corner.
And on the second one, not only did he catch the ball, he
Yeah,
delivered
he laid a crazy stiff arm on my safety, dog.
the most hellacious stiff arm I've ever seen in Madden. Put him in the dirt, sent him to the underworld.
I'm like, why is Stetson Bennett cooking me? What am I supposed to do? I literally
I think he was drunk, bro. I don't think he could feel.
and he was an outside receiver, so it's not even like I'd have to use her a safety or a corner to be able to cover him myself because you can't cover an outside receiver like that on a fade with a linebacker. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do here?
Long story short,
Just
Stetson Bennett cooked twice.
I'm done. Stetson Bennett should not be drafted, and I will be preying on his downfall for the entirety of his career.
I hope he gets sponsored by Bud Light.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's just like when Gardner Minshew had that porn site trying to sponsor him.
That was funny.
It's like, bruh.
Yeah. Anyway, we got off topic. Back on topic.
I don't drafts real life Stetson Bennett wise. I don't know if Stetson Bennett. I think it was who was it? Mel Kiper, the guy who I don't know how he has a job for 40 years because he's very mid with his takes. But anyways, I think he said Stetson Bennett was going to go in like the third round, and I'm like, ain't no fucking way that dude goes in the third round.
I don't know.
And then he got arrested for um, public
Public
intoxication
intoxication.
at
Yep.
6 in the morning,
7 in the morning.
7 in the morning.
Banging on doors.
Yeah,
26, 25 years old?
bro.
25 years old. What are you doing?
Why are you drunk knocking on doors at 7 a.m.? It's if you're drunk and it's like 1 or 2 a.m., sure, you had a night out or something, but 7 a.m.?
He's alcoholic, man.
It's funny though, when I was on Twitter, there were some Georgia fans defending him, and I'm like, bro, it was 7 a.m. They were like, he's just having fun, he's just partying. I'm like, bro, it's 7 a.m. Bro should be eating breakfast.
Should be asleep.
He should be asleep, waking up to eat breakfast and go to work out because he skipped the Senior Bowl to do that. Like after that, and he's had multiple occasions where he showed up on national television looking crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
He shouldn't get drafted. Like I think he could maybe be a practice squad guy or a training camp guy who just is there. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback, but the mailman does what he
The
wants.
next Julian Edelman.
If somebody switches him to a receiver, I will genuinely laugh. Like
I want to see him run routes at the combine.
I do too. He will be at the combine, but he's probably gonna throw.
You might do both.
You know, his nickname is fun in college, but when you think about an NFL quarterback, the mailman, it's like every time he throws like a throw where he gets called the mailman, it's like a high arcing, just hangs in the air for a decade throw.
An airman.
Exactly.
FedEx Air.
What's it? what's it called? He's so bad. What sucks about it, it makes me hate Stetson Bennett even more, just from a pure fan perspective. He sucks ass against Florida every single year. He throws like 2 or 3 picks against Florida every year. Looks terrible, but their team is so damn good that we get beat every single fucking time. I will say, we
Let it
did
out,
beat
bud.
them in 2020
Let,
because of Stetson Bennett being
let it
trash,
out.
and we
Let it
actually had
out.
Kyle Trask, who was good.
Let it out.
But in 2021, Anthony Richardson's first start, it was rough starting Anthony Richardson against his first ever start against the best defense I've ever seen with my eyes in college football. Not a good idea. Stetson threw like 3 picks that game. We still scored 1 touchdown the entire game. Uh, then this past year, Stetson Bennett throws multiple picks, but of course, there's one play I will never. Brock Bowers is a lucky son of a bitch too.
If by lucky
He
you can
throws
mean
it up.
elite, then sure.
He throws it up. Brock Bowers drops it, like it bricks off his hands. Amari Burney, linebacker, Florida senior. He's going to be in the draft this year. He will not get drafted, in my opinion. Hopefully, he comes on the podcast though. No slander, Amari.
Too late.
I've said too much on Twitter for him to come on the podcast, anyways,
Too
dog.
late. You
But
burned that bridge.
but he literally, after Brock Bowers dropped it, Amari Burney should have just naturally just picked it off. But instead, he goes for like a heat missile tackle, misses. So Brock Bowers is able to just turn around and catch his drop, and there's nobody there. I'm like, oh my. That's why I hate Brock Bowers, by the way.
For something your guy did.
I hate him because he's a lucky son of a bitch. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go to the Jaguars segment for a little bit. We don't really have much to talk about the Jaguars. Like I said, not much happened, but I will just raise you a question. Should the Jaguars trade for T. Higgins if he is available?
What's it going to cost?
What would you, okay, let me rephrase. What would you send for T. Higgins?
If they'll do it for just the 24th overall pick, then maybe.
I'd send the 24th.
You also got to pay his ass.
Yeah, I'd send the
Which, I mean,
24th and maybe like a 4th or 5th.
Nah, first rounder. That's it. That's all you get from me. I got to pay his ass.
I don't think it won't happen. And it doesn't really, if it was any other receiver, I wouldn't want it to happen. But just the fact of having ETN, Trevor, and T all back together.
Yeah.
The triple T. I want it. I want it so bad.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I don't think it's probable.
It happens. It happens. Anyways, though, guys, you guys know from last year, we have a segment called Hidden Gems where we interview a late round draft prospect. Hopefully, one day they're not a late round draft prospect. Hopefully, maybe we can get big enough to get somebody.
Hopefully, we turned hidden gems into known diamonds.
Yes. You know this guy's going to be good, and he's here.
Right.
But we got hidden gems, late round draft prospects. Well, it's draft season, so that is back. We're going to go ahead and send you guys into an interview right now with Tyric LeBeauf, DB cornerback from Boise State. So we'll see you guys right there. And we're back, guys, for Hidden Gems. We are here with Boise State's Tyric LeBeauf. How are you doing, man?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and let Sean ask his first question first.
What are some things you do before a game to get yourself hyped up?
So me, I'm kind of different. Like I don't like to get too turned up, if that makes sense. So I try to stay calm. One thing that's weird, I guess you can say that I do is I watch Tom and Jerry. I watch Tom and Jerry before the game, and I talk to my mom and my little sister. So I stay calm, you know.
All right.
Yeah, that's creative. Never heard of someone watching Tom
Yeah.
and Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun, though. All right. Who was the toughest receiver you ever had to guard?
Toughest? Romeo Doubs, for sure. I played him in at Nevada. He was at, well, was that 2 years ago? and he gave me a run for my money for sure. We fought for sure, but he was definitely the best receiver, I can say.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He plays for the Packers now,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah. He just the whole package. Like he's strong. He got his releases are nice, and he's just a route runner. So
How do you think your game best translates to the league? Do you think it'll be outside, inside? Are you willing to cut your teeth on special teams?
yeah, most definitely. I feel like I'm pretty versatile, so I feel like I can play anywhere on in the back end, but um, I feel most comfortable obviously at corner because that's what I've been doing the past, however many years. So um, translation wise, I feel like I got a good feel of just football in general. I feel like I got a good IQ and I know, different tendencies and I'm good at studying the game. So
All right. What was the most memorable moment during your collegiate career? I might have an idea at what it could be, but we'll see if you say that.
most definitely, I think we think the same thing that 100-yard pick six had to be probably if I want to be selfish, but yeah, I'll probably go with that one.
Didn't you have another pick that game too?
Yeah, I did. I did. I should have took that one back too, man, but I I was too excited.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Hey, you were moving on that 100-yard pick six. What do you think you were on the 40?
No, I was not. I was not moving.
Nah, you was moving, bro.
You got some
nah,
good
that was
blocks
like
too. The teammates set you up
yeah,
there.
exactly. It was like after an 8-play drive or something like that. First drive of the season too, and it was hurry up offense. Like it was like they was on the move. So I was gassed.
What do you
Uh,
think your 40 would be?
uh, praying for a 4-4 for sure.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm training with Pete Bomaritos out here. He's like he knows what he's doing for sure when it comes to like 40 and technique and stuff like that. Um, I feel like that's all it is to it, just the techniques to it. So if I get that down in 4-4.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Good to have speed on the outside.
Right.
All right, this one is a Boise State specific question. What was it like playing on the blue field, and how was it different than playing on a normal field?
I don't think it's much of a difference. I guess I can say that because I was on it almost every day, so it didn't really like. The thing I can say is different was the environment, like just the game atmosphere. Like our fans are like a family, so that was probably the biggest difference, I guess you can say.
And where are you
Yeah,
from originally?
I'm from Cali. I'm from Long Beach.
What was it like
Long Beach,
living in
Cali.
What was it like living in Idaho?
Different, man. It's different for sure. Like it was a big. Everybody was just so nice. Like I don't know, in Cali, everybody's nice in Cali, but it's nice like in Idaho. It was different.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching some Boise State tape, watching some tape on you, and I was like, your jersey's blending in with the field. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you supposed?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to not throw an interception when you
Hey,
can't even see the corner?
it's crazy because I only had one pick on the blue. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
only had one
actually
pick on
have
the blue.
the tape of it. We're gonna have you go over it later.
Okay. Okay, got you.
But yeah, what do you think is your best quality? What stands out on tape? Like, do you think it's your athleticism, speed, your ball skills, your technique, film watching? What?
Probably just my feel for the game. Like I know a lot of moments I kind of knew what was happening before it happened. I feel like that's my biggest standout, I guess you can say. I can be quick, but like when I'm locked into it, I feel like I'm kind of inconsistent there. But I'm growing at it for sure, like most definitely. But um, yeah, just my IQ of the game.
Okay. Let's switch it to a little bit more of a personal thing. What kind of hobbies are you into, or like,
Oh, I'm like a jack of all trades. I do a lot. I've gotten into bowling last year, um, paintballing. I've been on teams for that. Uh, Call of Duty. I'm
for
crazy
sure,
at Call of Duty.
for sure?
Uh, Shoot, there's a lot. I can draw. It's a lot, man. I can't really pinpoint anything, but I guess those are my top four.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Why do you play the game? What keeps you going every day?
It's crazy because I didn't even want to play football. Like when I first going into high school, I wanted to go to a basketball school, and I got accepted into Long Beach Poly. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
yeah,
I got accepted there, and my mom was like, you got to go there." I was mad. She didn't tell you I was mad. So started off as a receiver. They moved me to corner, and it just like it grew on me. It grew on me a lot. I've always liked it, but it's, just that passion for it. It wasn't there until probably like my second year of high school, and then ever since then, like my mom, for sure kept me, motivated as far as that.
All right. Who impacted your career the most?
Jerron Johnson. He was a safety for the Seahawks. He was my corners coach last year. He just gave me a lot of confidence. Like he let me play. There's a lot of coaches out there who they're strict on your technique and you have to do this, you have to play like that. But he kind of let me play my game and kind of tell me just to have that swag you got and just use it and be confident in it. And then Demario Warren, he's a guy. He was my corners coach last year. He really gave me that, like the feel for the game, that IQ piece. Everything he broke down everything as best as anybody could. I think he's probably one of the best in the game that I know, actually. So those two.
That's what's up. Going back to more of a personal side. What kind of you watching any TV shows right now, or what are you binging? Anything? Or you any you got any favorites?
Favorite shows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Movies?
Favorite movie?
Sure.
Right now or all time?
Both.
Probably It. I like It. I like It for some reason. I also like this movie called Ready or Not. It's a crazy movie. It's like it's this woman who gets married into this family and
oh yeah. Okay, I've seen that. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
And they got to kill her before like 6 a.m. or something like that.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that was crazy.
All right. Why'd you choose Boise State in Idaho, being from California? I did some research. You were a 3-star prospect. You had offers from Rutgers, Arizona, San Jose State, Utah, etc. Why was Boise State the choice?
So my high school coach at the time, Antonio Pierce, he has a son, DeAndre Pierce. We played at high school together, and he went to Boise. He was 2 grades above me, I think, and he was already there starting at safety. So he was in a process of looking for a college job. So he was like, if I get this job at somewhere else, like you can come with me. But for now, like you can commit to Boise and, kind of follow DP and be under his steps because you guys played on the field together. So it'd be an easier transition, I guess you can say. And I stuck with it. When I took my visit, I just loved it because of the people, the players first, like my peers, people I'll never forget. Like they'll go to my wedding one day, and that's really what reeled me in for sure.
You go ahead.
All right. Who's the funniest guy in the locker room at Boise State?
Funniest guy. Caleb Biggers. Unintentionally though. He's like he's like it's somebody you just look at and you would just laugh, like just because it's him. So yeah, it gotta be him.
All right. What was your favorite team growing up?
Favorite team was the Saints. Because I was a Reggie Bush fan.
I respect it.
Yeah, I was a big Reggie Bush fan. He went to the Saints, and I kind of
give him his Heisman back.
Yeah, man, they got to have to. So yeah, it's the Saints.
All right, Sean, you got any more questions before my last
Nah,
one?
I'm good, man.
All right, so got a play from 2020 against Utah State. This is your interception on the blue field. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick.
Yep, there it goes.
All right, you're at the bottom with the yellow arrow. We'll let you break it down, watch it, break it down. What's going through your head through the play, and obviously the return.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this. So we was in cover 2. If you can go back a little bit, we was in cover 2. That thing coming that I think that's the number 3 receiver. I think
That you're lined up on?
the slot receiver. No, the slot receiver.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, yep, him right there.
Yeah.
He came out now, and we got something called like "Don't take the cheese." Yeah, so the cheese, that's the cheese, and it's trying to get that. It's trying to get the corner to take that, and something else is coming behind it. So I pretty much did a good job of not taking the cheese, and then finding that corner out.
Yeah, it was good stuff. But like I said, this is what I was talking about. It's you guys blending in with the field. Yeah, just good stuff. And then obviously return throws it right to you.
Yeah, he didn't see me.
Yeah, definitely didn't see. That's like perfect cover 2 corner play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps looking at that receiver too the entire time.
Yeah.
Hey, oh yeah, he stared him down the whole way.
He stared him down before the play.
Yeah.
Right.
But smart IQ play, good ball skills, interception. All right, man. That's all we got. Thank you for coming on for this episode of Hidden Gems, coming on the podcast. We'll be rooting for you for the draft.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
any teams you've talked to so far?
Not yet. I know my agent's he's been handling all that for me. I've been just focused on training,
right.
Getting the best numbers I can. So
still pretty early in the process. So
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll be rooting for you hardcore for sure.
Appreciate run that 4-4. Catch some attention.
I got you.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
All right. We're back, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Tyric LeBeauf, not LeBeauf. I had to double check that and I was wrong, of course. Story of my life. But Tyric LeBeauf, hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun. So now let's go ahead. It's draft season, so we've got our draft segment. So today we're going to start simple. We've got who are our guys and who are our letdowns. So we're going to give our my guys, and we're going to give some guys that we think just aren't as good as the hype has been. I'll let Sean start with his my guys.
Put me on the spot here. A couple of my guys probably going to be Xavier Hutchinson, wide receiver out of Iowa State. He's a dog. He's local product from Jacksonville.
Yeah, he's from I don't know what school did he play.
He played at, I think it was Bartram Trail, I think.
Yeah, dude's tall, fast, runs good routes, doesn't put the ball on the ground much.
He's a great runner, great hands.
He's my favorite receiver in the class.
I think he's more athletic than people will give credit for.
Yeah, he's probably gonna do pretty well at the combine.
Wasn't as tall as people thought.
Still tall.
6'1" versus 6'3". I mean, yeah.
6'1" still solid.
Another one, it's probably both of ours, is Kalijah Cansey.
Yes.
D tackle, undersized D tackle from Pitt.
Yes, another undersized defensive tackle from Pitt.
Doesn't have the bulky build.
Fuck the bulky build, bro.
What was he, about 6 foot, 279 or something like that, 275?
Yeah, he's probably a guy you'll probably rush off the edge a lot too, but that's what Aaron Donald does a lot too.
Well, he rushes from a defensive end position in a 3-4.
Exactly. So he's a really good pass. He's probably one of the better pass rushing defensive tackles in this class, because I think he's probably the second best, because the best is obviously Jalen Carter.
Yep.
But Kalijah Cansey, he's on my guys list as well. Dude's really damn good. He could sneak into the first round. He could go. I don't think he gets past the second, but I think he could sneak into the first.
Another guy I'm really feeling lately is Clark Phillips III.
Another undersized guy, but
another undersized guy. Yeah, I think he's like 5'9",
5'10".
5'10", and like a buck 80, buck 85, somewhere around there.
He's not on my guys list, but I'm high on him too. I comp him to Jair Alexander.
I would like him.
I didn't realize Jair was 5'10" until I watched Clark Phillips and heard someone say Jair, and I googled it and I was like, shit,
Yeah.
you're right.
He's somebody I like for us at 24, just because he can play inside and then possibly also move outside. If like in a few years
sure.
we move on from Darius Williams.
I don't know
Very
how
similar size, Darius Williams, to be honest.
Bulky would be tripping over that corner room. A 5'10" and 5'9" corner, bro.
He's the one that signed Darius Williams.
I know. I'm just making a joke.
Trey Herndon ain't big either.
I know. Imagine just everybody in the cornerback room is small except for Tyson Campbell.
It works, bud. And I think I also like wide receiver A.T. Perry a lot. I like him for us, especially considering he could give us that big physical presence on the outside and could be like a jump ball guy, especially in the red zone. It's something that we were lacking last year. I believe he's like
A.T.
6.
Perry.
I believe he's like 6'5", like 215, I think.
He's really fluid for a 6'5" guy. Normally guys that are that tall aren't super fluid. EA Colin Johnson, who was, I believe, 6'6".
Yeah.
But he's pretty good. He's moved up my board a bit over the course of the time. I still think I'm a bit lower on him than a lot of people, but yeah, Xavier Hutchinson's probably my favorite receiver in the class. But my guys,
I got one
I'm
more.
gonna start.
I got one more.
Oh, you got one more? Sorry, I cut you
I'm
off.
gonna throw. I always got to throw a quarterback out there. I'm coin flipping between Jake Hayner, who I like a lot, who just won the MVP at the Senior Bowl.
I gotta remove Spencer Rattler.
And then I also like who I not
Stetson
I like
Bennett?
to be
I know who you're gonna say.
to be a starter, but could be a long-term backup in the pros is Aiden O'Connell from
Yes, sir.
Purdue.
I'm a fan of Aiden O'Connell as well.
I would not hate it if we took him in the 6th round, 7th round, 6th round. If he's there, and just let him, be a backup to Trevor. I think he is a guy that can come in and be pretty decent. A little older, I think he's like 23, 24.
Yeah.
He might even turn 25 by draft day. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, just a guy I don't think he'll ever be a top like a starter, but he'll be like a pretty decent backup, I think, for a while.
He's 24, turns 25 September 1st.
So he'll be 25 before the season starts. Got it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a fan of Aiden O'Connell as well. He's like not super high on my draft board, but like you said, he is that kind of guy who he's going to be around the league for a long time. He could start a game or two. I feel like he could have the Blaine Gabbert backup career just without the hype at the beginning of his career.
I was thinking like Chase Daniel, like Case Keenum, but maybe not as
any of those.
Maybe not with the highs that Case Keenum did have with Minnesota, but just somewhere in that range.
For sure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my guys list with my quarterback. It's obvious, Anthony Richardson.
Bias.
Hey, shut the.
I didn't name one Michigan player.
You would have said Blake Corum if Blake Corum was in this draft.
But because I'm a Michigan fan, it goes without saying.
Yeah, but I mean, after Anthony Richardson, I'm not really a fan of many of the quarterbacks. Like it's Anthony Richardson then drop off to me. I just think the more I watch him, the more I'm confident that if he gets in the right system, he'll be really good.
Are you watching that? Crazy. Are you watching that through blue and orange eyes?
No. You know how many Gators fans hate Anthony Richardson, bro?
Dang, you're not one of those people.
But I think Anthony Richardson's gonna be crazy fun in the league. Like I said, Xavier Hutchinson, he's not on my guys list, but he is my favorite receiver in the class. If I had to pick, like I said, if I had to pick a receiver, I'd put Hutchinson, but I'm not going to. Running back. You didn't have a running back, but I do. Zach Charbonnet is my favorite running back in the class. He's my RB2, former Michigan player. He transferred to UCLA. Dude, if Bijan Robinson didn't exist, Zach Charbonnet would be my RB1 and it would not be close because he's my RB2 and it's not close. His contact balance is crazy fun. He's got great size. He's got good speed for his size. He runs through like I said, his contact balance is really good. He will run through you. He'll run past you. I don't think his biggest knock, it's not even really a knock. He's not the biggest receiving back, but if you throw him the ball, he'll catch it and get you yards. It's just, you're not going to draw him up to run routes downfield.
Yeah.
If you want that kind of guy, you're going to get Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. But yeah, Zach Charbonnet. I'm a big Zach Charbonnet fan. One of my friends in real life, friend Sean in the group chat, Crow. He I spread my propaganda, and now we got him saying that Zach Charbonnet is the next Derrick Henry. So
Yeah, I've loved Charbonnet since he was a freshman at Michigan, and he transferred like a
why does Michigan get all these running backs? Like
because that's what we're known for. They know that
Yeah.
they know that they'll go there and produce.
you had Zach Charbonnet, Blake Corum, and Zach
Donovan
Charbonnet
Edwards.
transferred. Then you got Donovan Edwards. You had Haskins.
Haskins, and before him he didn't do much in the league, but he was really good in the college. Karan Higdon, he was a beast. We've always had
I
guys.
don't know, man. But yeah, Zach Charbonnet. He's a fun watch. Like I said, his contact balance is some of the best I've ever seen. He literally bounces off everybody. There's a play he had against Hawaii. I know it's Hawaii, so take it with a grain of salt, but he does against everybody. Play he had against Hawaii, he bounced off like 6 guys. He had kind of like a beast mode kind of run. It was just awesome. So Zach Charbonnet's at the top of my list. This one, call it bias. I don't think it is because Sean's gonna agree. Osiris Torrance. I'm a huge Osiris Torrance guy. I have him as a top 10 prospect in the entire class. I think he's going to be plug and play. I think he's going to start day one and be a mauler on the guard. He can pass protect. He gave up no sacks in his college career. None. He went from, obviously, he played at ULL in his early career. So that's where you have the argument of, oh, he didn't really play that crazy of competition. He goes to the SEC and does the same damn thing. He didn't give up any sacks. Sometimes he has given up pressure, but even his pressure rate's really low. He's a mauler in the run game. I've never seen him miss a run block. If you watch any big run by the Gators, whether it be Trevor Etienne or Montrell Johnson, you're going to see Osiris Torrance spring in it. Dude's just a stud. I want him on the Jaguars.
He's definitely a guy that I would like at 24 as well.
A lot of people have him as like a late first, and I'm just like,
it's because of the position.
Yeah. I just have him as a top 10 player in the draft.
Positional value. People don't see him as a big cube.
Yeah. And his size. He's got the biggest wingspan by a guard prospect in recent years. He lost like 10, 15 pounds since the season going to now. He's going to test well at the combine. Dude's just a menace. He's a top 10 prospect in this class to me. So that warrants my guy list since he's not that way on anybody else's. Elijah Cansey, already talked about him. Gervon Dexter is not on my guys list, but he is a guy that we're both a fan of.
Yep.
He didn't have much production in college. He had some good tape, but it's just he was on a defensive line where he was the only guy that was competent there for a lot of the time.
Yep.
He's built in the lab. He's gonna go crazy at the combine. Gonna sneak into the second round. Jalen Carter, I can't put him on my guy list because everybody has him as a top 2 prospect in the class. So
he's everybody's guy.
I have been on the Jalen Carter train for years though, and anybody who's talked to me can attest with that. Edge rushers. I'm a big fan of Nolan Smith. I think he's a stud. Isaiah Foskey, though. A lot of people, I've not heard Isaiah Foskey's name in many like talks of edge rushers. I think he's sick. I think he's a sick edge rusher. He's had over 10 sacks the past 2 years. I don't know why people aren't talking about him. I think he's a stud. Ventrell Miller. He's not on my guys list because I have him as like a 5th round pick or something. Ventrell Miller is a stud from Florida. He just had a ton of injuries and is old, so he's gonna fall.
Garbage.
Are you gonna have Cam Smith on your list, or is he not my guy anymore?
I try to keep my guys to like guys that aren't first rounders, in my opinion. So like
that's fair.
But I mean, like last year I had Aiden Hutchinson, but that was my Michigan bias showing.
Yeah,
but he also was elite. So
there's so many corners I love, but I will say Brian Branch. I have been on the Brian Branch train for a long time. I know Brian Branch. A lot of people liked him early on, but he's the best safety in the class. He's a nickelback / safety. He's the best nickel in the class. I mean, I think he's the best safety too. I think he's a stud. I think he's a top 15 prospect. I don't know if he'll go that high because safety / nickel cornerback isn't that valued. But I've seen him in mocks that high. Yeah. Brian Branch, dude's a dog. I want him on the Jaguars so bad. And yeah, that's probably it. I'm a fan of Dalton Kincaid, Darnell Washington, but they're not on my guys list. So that's my guys list. Now, Who are some guys off the top of your head that you consider letdowns? Like they have some hype, you just don't see it.
Was it Kelly Ringo?
Oh, you're gonna steal that from me, man. I was waiting so hard to cook on that.
I think
I'll say it right now. I'll say it right now. There are at least 9 to 10 corners in this class better than Kaylee Ringo. I got it. Cam Smith, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., Devon Witherspoon, Clark Phillips, Antonio Johnson, Jalen Jones, Emmanuel Forbes. All of them I have ranked over Kaylee Ringo currently.
Yeah.
DJ Turner, I was tempted. Travius Hodges Tomlinson would be there if he wasn't 5'2". Garrett Williams would be there if he wasn't hurt.
Injured.
So Kaylee
I
Ringo.
just think he'd be better at safety.
I agree. I think Kaylee Ringo, his hips aren't as fluid as I'd like because he's a big corner, so that's why his hips aren't as fluid. They're solid. They're not bad. I just think it's average.
He's big and athletic, but he gets burned a lot. He doesn't get his head around.
His ball skills are inconsistent. Sometimes people will have certain plays. They'll show you highlight plays where he looks like he's amazing ball skills, and then he'll have other plays where he's jumping back full sprint like too early. Like if he just didn't jump, he would have been able to make a play on it. He doesn't know how to play corner, in my opinion. He plays soft. He plays for the tackle rather than the pass breakup. Any corner, line up any receiver against him, he's going to get cooked at least once. Justin Shorter, which Justin Shorter has actually gone up some people's board. Justin Shorter cooked him. I don't even know who the receiver was for Kentucky, cooked him. Keishon Butte, good, cooked him. Literally line up any receiver against him for an entire game, and they're going to cook him at least a couple times. Kaylee Ringo, he's my least favorite player in the draft. I think he's a 3rd-round talent at corner. I'd say 2nd-round talent if you're going to move him to safety. I would not touch him in the 1st round. He's going to run a 4.3, and people are going to lose their shit. We already know he's big and fast.
You know who else was lengthy and fast?
Don't even try and say he's Tyson. Don't even bring up Tyson Campbell, bro.
CJ Henderson.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that one more. I was going to say don't even. But
why would I roast Tyson Campbell? I like him.
Some people have compared him to Tyson Campbell. I'm like, you only say that because
Campbell was way stickier in college.
Exactly. Campbell was good
ever thought about being.
Campbell just had a generationally bad ball skills in college, and they got fixed.
All right. Well, and moving on. Let's move on. We can't spend all day on Kelly freaking Ringo. Quarterback Will Levis.
Bro. Will Levis. Yes, Will Levis is also on my list. I think Will Levis's throwing motion kind of stinks. I think he's bad decision making.
He just sucks. He has a big arm and he can run around a little bit.
Exactly.
Other than that, he sucks.
I don't like the comps to Zach Wilson. People are only comping him to Zach Wilson because he's white, but he's not good. Am I wrong?
No, probably not. And my last one I'll give is Brian Brzee. I just don't think he's. I think it's all hype. I think he's more name than game.
That's fair.
He was a big recruit coming out of high school, and he had super high expectations. I don't ever think he met them.
He's been hurt a lot is his issue.
Well, that's also a problem. The best ability is availability. So I just don't get it. Some people have him mocked in top 10s, and I'm like, I'm not spending a top 10 pick on a guy that I'm not sure will even make it to the field. He didn't produce top 10 defensive tackle numbers.
Yeah,
I know the numbers don't really matter, but like sometimes they do.
Yeah, for sure.
It is what it is.
A lot of Jags fans don't like him because they see white defensive tackle and think of Taven Bryan.
That's blatant racism, but we'll allow it. I'll allow it in this case.
I'm just saying what other people do, and it's clear.
I know. I'm saying it's blatant racism, but I'll allow it because I don't like him.
Damn. All right. For me, I was gonna say this guy, but I think I'm gonna move him up my board, and I know you'd cook me just because you like his personal preferences.
We'll do it.
I'm not as high on Will McDonald as most people. I have Will McDonald as like a 2nd or 3rd round guy, and some people are like, he could sneak into the 1st round. I'm like,
Will McDonald, top 10 personality.
His personality. Wow. You know what I noticed when I was DMing a lot of players trying to get them to come on the podcast? So many players have anime headers.
Anime is sick, bro. Jump on the train. Stop being left behind. Jump on the train. Stop being left behind.
I have
Anyways,
watched
moving
some,
on.
bro.
Top 10 personality. Round 2 talent.
I got one. Michael Mayer. I think Michael Mayer's solid. I don't think he's bad. I think he's good.
see
I
him
think he's good,
bad.
a good tight end prospect. But when I watch him, I'm just not wowed. He's not that explosive. He's a solid block. He's
Baby
solid
Gronk,
in every
bro.
category. He's got good hand. His
Baby
hand, I
Gronk.
feel like he drops the ball a lot.
He
He
might.
makes good contested. He's really
I don't
good
know
at
what his drop
contested
percentage is, but
catches. He's solid. He's solid to decent in everything. He's not bad at anything, but I don't think he's amazing at anything besides contested catches. I prefer Dalton Kincaid.
well, he gets the most
Darnell
hype because he's
Washington.
the most well-rounded.
Yeah, he's definitely the most well-rounded, but I like explosive tight ends.
I feel what you're saying.
I don't think he's bad. Don't get me wrong. He's not like the other guys where I think they just stink. I just don't think he's. Some people have him as like a top 10 player. I don't.
He's like a Dalton Schultz kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a fair comp. Luke Musgrave is my tight end 4. If he actually played, he could be over him. It's just he's all like betting on the traits. He never really played.
You know who else they bet on the traits and he balled out?
Who?
George Kittle.
Fair enough. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of Luke.
He didn't have the most elite numbers in college. They were decent, but they weren't anything special.
Luke Musgrave was just hurt, so he didn't really play.
Yeah.
But I like him. I think there's a lot of good tight ends. Sam Laporta, Brant Keithy. I'm a fan of Cameron.
We're doing
Bach,
flops. Too. Flops, bro. Flops. Stay on schedule.
There's just so many. I love the draft. Anyways, that's.
I know.
Who else? I mean,
we'll have a
Travius Hodges
Tomlinson. We'll have a whole podcast for the draft.
This is my last one. I was super high on Travius Hodges Tomlinson until he was 5'7".
Bad.
Like, I think he's gonna be the highest ever drafted 5'7" corner for sure. But how much will that drop him?
How many 5'7" corners have there ever been?
Like one. Most of the 5'7" corners in the league are from undrafted.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see about that one. He's gonna fall for sure, probably because of it.
Yeah, I still have him ranked. He's my currently. I haven't done. He's towards the bottom of my CBs right now, just because I haven't done a ton. He's my CB 11 right now. I'm probably gonna move him below Garrett Williams, but I don't know, man. He's so tiny. That boy tiny. Brenton Cox is a loser.
Yeah.
Dude's got kicked off 2 teams and he never gives effort. Any offensive line I don't like? I mean, Peter Skoronski, no. I'm a fan, just short arms. I like Anton Harrison as like a guy I do like.
Who do you not like? That's the segment right now. Who do you not like?
DeJuan Jones. Okay. DeJuan Jones has looked solid recently, but there are some plays where he looks like a super tall offensive tackle to the point where it's a fault. Who was it? There was somebody last year that played for Minnesota that was like crazy tall as well.
Oh, Daniel Fa'alele?
Yes. I think he's better than Fa'alele, but I think they have similar issues. They're so tall that if you get good leverage on them, you'll literally just send them flying backwards. Hutchinson.
Here we go.
Short arm. I know Hutchinson's really good, but short arms versus DeJuan Jones, like longest wingspan. Dude it's hard to get those flashes out of my eyes, bro. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Players can improve.
They can. That's why I still think he's like a 2nd round pick, but I don't think he's a 1st round guy like some people do. Anyways,
dude's like 6'8", 350.
Yeah, and his arms are long as shit.
Yeah.
A guy that did let me down, which he doesn't have hype. He just let me down when I was before the season. I thought Joseph Ngata, wide receiver for Clemson, I thought he was going to be good. He just wasn't.
I didn't watch a lot of Clemson, not gonna lie.
He was just there.
Ryan Brzee.
Yeah, Brzee. I saw somebody, I believe, not sure, I don't remember his name, but somebody said they weren't a fan of Miles Murphy either. And I'm like, I like Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy's good. Anyways, that's the draft. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with some viewer questions, which we only have one. because Gordo asked one, but I'm not even going to read it because we literally answered it already just from our normal talk.
Okay.
So, Patrick, it's always Patrick, our loyal viewer.
I love it.
Thoughts on the revamped Pro Bowl? What would you keep? What would you change? What would you drop? Or do you just not care at all and would sack off the whole thing? I actually liked the flag football. I thought it was. I thought it was. I don't think it was amazing, but it wasn't bad. It was at least guys were trying in flag football.
I mean,
Um,
I watched it. It was fine. I don't really give two shits. If they canceled it, cool. If they keep it,
Yeah.
cool. It's whatever.
I
I
will
watched it because
say-
it was football on TV.
I will say, Stephon Diggs, why did you have to throw that ball to your brother? Why couldn't you throw it over his head to Trevor? Trevor was open in the end zone, bro.
Yeah, Trevor's the one who's why I enjoyed it. If Trevor wasn't there and Agnew,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have cared. So
Yeah, Trevor had the best throw of my entire lifetime during the Pro Bowl.
the one that Diggs.
It was like 4th and like 23, and he throws it the entire field on a line.
It was out of bounds, but we won't go there.
That's on Diggs, not on Trevor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trevor almost had a receiving touchdown. Just Diggs threw the flattest ball ever, so his brother picked it off. Like, of course he gets picked off by his brother.
That's why he plays receiver.
I will say they should get rid of the best catch because that just was so. The best catch was terrible.
I didn't watch it.
Stephon Diggs didn't make any of his catches, so he got like they gave him like 70 because it was out of 100. They gave him 70s for attempt. He didn't make the catch.
Should have been zeros.
They were trying to do what the NBA does with the dunk contest, and it's just it's not that easy with catches versus dunks. So they should get rid of that. But otherwise, I thought it was a fine event. Like Sean said, if they get rid of it, I wouldn't be the end of the world. If they kept it, it's on my TV. Yeah. That's it. Hope you guys enjoy this episode of the podcast. Feels good to be back. We'll be back next week to talk more draft and whatever else happens on in the NFL world. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Tyric LeBeauf, and hopefully we'll have somebody next week. If you have anybody who'd like to have us on the podcast, tag them. If they respond, we'll have them on. Just if they respond.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that stuff.